Welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. I have a huge shout out for Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School's Drama Club. This year, they have been invited to perform Six, the musical teen edition, not once, but twice at the Florida State Thespians main stage. That week, they are going to have state competition going on. And this year, districts Marjorie Stoneman Douglas won 6 Critics' Choice Awards. Get that? 6 Critics' Choice. Just happened to be that way. But it will not only be for performances by the troupe, but also for like costume design. I tell you what, if you are a drama club parent, you should consider going to districts one year. I tell you what, it was so interesting the first time I went, which was last year. And you maybe remember at the beginning of this year, I shared a story about how the acoustics in this hallway at this high school where the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas drama team was practicing, the acoustics were out of this world, actually better than in the theater. And I want to kick off looking back over 2024 with that rendition of what they were doing on Let the Sun Shine.
Where's Claude?
Where is he? He should be here. He should be here. Claude!
I'm right here. Like it or not, they got me.
We start to look at one another, short of breath, walking proudly in our winter coats, where it smells from laboratories
For me, the best date ever is always about the who. And I think that's what drives me to go get better and better.
Actually, he asked me the most important thing, what would you like to eat? Not knowing that I'm a big food person, I like to eat a lot. And yeah, he brought me, I told him, I was like, oh, I want Jamaican jerk chicken, I want oxtail, I want a pineapple soda, it has to be D&G. And he brought it all to me at my door. My father was in the garage and he was just like, oh, who's that? I was like, oh, this guy I'm talking to. He's like, oh, he brought you food. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, okay. And the restaurant was history.
And that was day 2.
Yeah, day 2.
That's when it all started.
And he has been feeding me since.
I'm gonna create a newsletter where I'm gonna say once a week, I'm gonna send a date night idea, a gift idea, a love message that you could send to your partner. Once a week, I could promise you that. And from there, that grew from just my close friends getting the newsletter to now over 20,000 subscribers on the newsletter. If I'm gonna truly help 100 million people, I need to get technology behind it, right? And the more I hear these stories of people messaging us and emailing us about what we've done for them just from the newsletter, my thought was, I want to help every relationship reach its fullest potential. That's why I'm doing Best Date Ever. It's that, right? And that is what wakes me up every morning to be able to do that. So that brought us to where we are now.
So we're going somewhere, we're going to Cancun.
Ooh,
and
nice.
One of the things I want to do is on the birthday, the night of the birthday, I want to plan out something for her, like special at the resort. What could I do?
Awesome. So we have the Intelligent Cupid Engine Date Night Planner. So we'll use that. We could go to Date Night Planner. And same thing, we're celebrating a birthday, as I mentioned. And this is what date?
It's going to be the 7th of February.
Okay, so we look for the date, we throw that in. Once again, we have our Intelligent Cupid Engine.
So it's going to tell me exactly what to do?
Exactly what to do and how to do it.
Got you.
All right, so as you can see, start listing out individually what you could do. And the great thing is that you could pick from the things, right? So you don't have to do everything. You could pick and say, okay, I want to do the tropical flavors breakfast, or I want to do the snorkeling adventure. I want to do...
Got you. So it's giving me literally a whole day here, itinerary. I could follow from sunrise all the way back to
Exactly.
a starlit stroll.
And even giving you exactly how to execute it.
Got it. No, that's dope.
All right, and if you love the idea...
It's even telling me that they gave me the name of a restaurant.
Here you go.
That is dope.
All right, and if you love the idea, you could always save it. So you could come back to it later. You could send it to yourself so you can, when you go on the trip, you could have it in your email in your point, right?
Gotcha.
And you can plan from there.
All right, cool.
You could feel the energy in the room as the Community Foundation of Broward and its supporters were gathering to celebrate the accomplishments of one of their own. Dara Levan releasing her riveting new book called It Could Be Worse, with a storyline sure to leave you wanting more.
I'm so happy today that we can have a small gathering of our fund holders and board members and donors to celebrate Dara Levan and the launch of her new book, It Could Be Worse. Dara is a terrific board member. She and her husband are longtime supporters of the Community Foundation and our community builders. So it's really special for us to gather our own family, the Community Foundation family, to hear a little bit from her about the experience of writing a book and to share a little bit of her favorite passages.
First at the mic, a former Community Foundation of Broward board member and the one who knows her best.
But my title today is Dara's husband. And I'm very proud to have that title, because I'm very proud of my wife. While this is Dara's debut novel, She's been a writer since the day I met her. There's been some lulls in between, some times where she was supporting me and the growth of our businesses and raising our kids and taking care of our family. This is now Dara's opportunity to shine and build her career and to make names for her and for us. I'm hoping to retire on It Could Be Worse. And last week, she got a Kirkus review. Don't ask me what that is, but I can tell you that it is the cream of the crop in the author community, and Dara got a very glowing Kirkus review. She's also a go-getter. Dara went to market with this book that she wrote and edited and wrote again and edited again and wrote again and edited again. And then she went to market, and I don't know if I have this exactly right, but she got 7 offers from publishers.
Wow. Fantastic.
And I'm proud of her.
So I could not be more thrilled to be here with Dara today to talk about It Could Be Worse. Dara, first and foremost, is a board member for the Community Foundation of Broward, of which I currently have the privilege of chairing. And when we learned about this fabulous opportunity to host what we believe is the first in the book tour, is really just wonderful, and we hope you will enjoy this as much as we expect you will.
First of all, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I know life is so busy and it means a lot to me. This is quite surreal. So actually, Juliet, I've been really writing probably since I could speak, which was likely in utero, for those of you that know me. I'm not shy. But I used to make up stories and talk to my stuffed animals. I started reading absolutely voraciously by about probably eight or 9. Ramona Quimby was one of my first books I remembered vividly. Nancy Drew, I loved. I probably read every single book of hers at least 4 times. And so when I was a little girl, I knew I wanted to be a writer. I didn't know how that would look. And to your point, my grandmother was in a nursing home for Alzheimer's. And I remember I was 12 years old and seeing all these empty souls just sitting there. So I went to the activities director. He was the sweetest man. I'll never forget him. I said, can I write their stories? He had this little newsletter, and so I got published in this little newsletter and just listened to them speak because they're walking history books.
I am the eternal optimist, so the title actually personally resonates with me. It could be worse. But here are what her peer authors are saying. Visceral and moving. It Could Be Worse is a tale of acceptance and awakening, but not necessarily forgiveness. That reminds us we can choose how our stories end. Andrew Watkins, New York Times bestselling author. The gorgeous prose and raw, unflinching narrative both heal and inspire. A stunning debut. Samantha Bailey, USA Today, and #1 international bestselling author. So now that I've primed you, I know you're really excited to hear about this.
And a lot of my author friends have shared this. It does not matter what you write. There will be somebody that says, I know this is about you, right? You could even be writing sci-fi or thriller. I mean, there's always one. So if you're out here, it is not about me. However, it is absolutely inspired by a lot of my emotional truths. But I see this as almost like a collage, a collective experience of a universal theme, which is unconditional love and wanting that and perhaps not getting it. And what also very much inspired it is my podcast. I have interviewed the most extraordinary guests, and the stories I've heard about trauma, about loss, and it's not all depressing. There's a lot of uplifting stories too. And in recent years, I've spoken to so many authors because that's my community, but we rarely talk about their book. I always say to them, I'm not a book promo, I have fellow podcasters who I love who do. We talk about the essence of the person. We talk about the extraordinary and the ordinary, because I really believe every soul has a story. And 2 specific conversations, interviews I had, are part of what inspired this. It started to sort of percolate in my brain. It starts as like kernel and it starts popcorn. And as a writer, all of a sudden it takes over your entire psyche where it's like an itch. And I just knew I had to dive into this topic of not just narcissism and breaking a cycle, but also what hides behind a mask. We all wear masks of some sort, right? And especially when things look so perfect, you know, they're not usually that perfect. So drawing back the curtain.
Why the title? Why it could be worse?
I love that question. The title came to me first. You know, it could be worse is something that I heard a lot growing up that I always thought was a positive phrase. You're all nodding. Did a lot of you hear that? I don't know if it's generational. I don't know if it's just, you know, a perspective. And I always thought that was great because really it could be, I mean, really, your best friend could have stage 1 cancer, but then your other best friend could be stage 4. Of course it could be worse. But as I dove deep into narcissism, and in lots of components of that are gaslighting, invalidating, triangulating, all these different facets of this, it's actually a disorder. And I realized it could be worse is incredibly invalidating as well.
Has it drastically changed your relationship, you as a mom or you as a wife or a daughter? Something, and you talked a lot about boundaries. Can you give an example of something you learned about narcissism and where you realized something you had to change in yourself or something in your family that you needed to address?
Yes, I never knew these 2 bosses were narcissists, and I'm talking like pathologic. But I didn't know what I was dealing with, so to your point, I'm researching this, I said, oh my gosh. And then I thought about friends that I've let go of, and yes, definitely family members, and more in the workplace and friends, and I thought, like the light bulb just started, the connections just started firing in my brain, like wow, and then I started having compassion, Lori, because the hallmark of narcissism, like the hallmark of autism, is often, you know, if severely autistic, you have trouble, children or adults have trouble relating to people as people versus objects. They see the parts, not the whole. Well, as a parallel narcissist, they literally have no attachment to themselves.
Dara went on to read the first chapter in her book, many in the room reading along with her. As you can imagine, there were rave reviews.
She is so inspiring, and just the fact that she took her life experiences and was able to make this book that is so inclusive, and I'm so excited to read it.
I just felt that it was a real story. Even though it's fiction, I think that everybody, based on that first chapter, could relate to exactly what she was talking about. And it's intriguing. You want to go on to the next chapter. So I think it's going to be a very big success.
All hands on deck as 13-year-old Carter Bonas of Spectrum Golf set up the course for his first annual Autism Awareness Golf Tournament, which undoubtedly was a who's who event. Swag bags and gear set to go, vendors too. In no time, golfers began pouring into the Country Club of Coral Springs, each one greeted with goodies. Not only adults, but also kids Carter coaches through his nonprofit Carter's Spectrum Golf. The Broward County Sheriff's Office instrumental in supporting Carter's golf program through a grant which provides free golf gear for participants.
Unbelievable coach. He really is. Like, it's fun to watch him just teach in general, let alone golf, which makes it cooler to me. But he's a very good, I guess you can call it an educator, because he can explain things to people in a way that I think most couldn't think of on their own, but they can comprehend when he explains it.
Carter has been doing business in this area for over 3 years now, and city leaders know him. Coral Springs Commissioner Joshua Simmons with a big hug and handshake for Carter. The mayor of Coral Springs there too.
I'm very happy to be here in my capacity as Carter's friend and also the mayor of Coral Springs. What he's doing for our community and for children with autism is wonderful. He's an extraordinary young man with a bright future, and I'm happy to partner with him today.
A steady stream of golfers rolling out, heading to their first tee. Dozens of teams partnering up to take a swing at securing a prize while raising money to generate autism awareness.
There you go. That's all right. We love you, Carter. We support you. Keep doing what you're doing.
So aim for the guy in the golf cart.
There you go. Half a barrel to the right of him.
Along the circuit, Zach the Hammer, whose title says it all.
I'm here to help fundraise for autism awareness, especially and also color spectrum today. And the reason why, because I'm actually on the spectrum myself, and growing up, it wasn't easy for me to actually be normal like the other kids. And I had to take like extra classes just to get my speech correctly, and also how to socialize and having friends and being around gatherings and stuff. And I basically want to just give back to people, that parents that have children that are on the spectrum, that it's not the end of the world, everyone.
Also on the green, players from the nonprofit For Life, which was founded by LPGA golf pro Paula Pearson Tucker and NFL Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor. Just like Carter, the organization uses the game of golf as an empowerment tool to coach children on impactful skills for life.
Some people don't get this experience, so I'm happy to be out here today with my fellow partners.
This tournament was not only about playing golf, but educating others about what autistic golfers can see when they play the game or do anything else.
There's an angle that you have to look to see where the ball is at. When you think it's far away from you, it's actually closer to you than it's far away.
Yes, and that's the sensory
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's like when they're having a sensory overload. So can you try and putt?
I can't even see the green. You see anything? I can see a whole lot of nothing. Interesting. I mean, I can't really see nothing, so I don't know how he saw anything. So, but I'll tell you, that's strange and amazing. I'll tell you what, strange and amazing.
So Carter, what happens when you put the glasses on? It's kind of familiar. Normally gets a sensory overload when I go outside. Like every single time I go outside. The best way I can describe it is just when you go outside, everything's super bright and your vision is all weird and it's kind of scary for the first time it happens. But it's kind of just normal.
These demonstrations and activities all thanks to Carter's sponsors. K-12 is this year's title sponsor. Virtual schooling allowing Carter to travel to golf shows and play in tournaments without missing a lesson.
In our country, I think, we're trying to sort of fit too many kids through a very standard model of education that it just, for whatever reason, doesn't fit the need of that child and that family. And I think what we try to do is we try to provide an outlet for an avenue for those families to allow their children to succeed, to thrive. And, and that's really all we're doing is we're providing a mechanism for really special kids like Carter to thrive. And hopefully we've been able to do that with Carter, and hopefully we're able to do that for other families. I think we are.
We felt that given the number of autistic children who are bullied in schools, that this opportunity with Carter and Carter's Foundation and Carter's work was a perfect match.
Across the course, golfers were giving it their all.
Carter, I want to tell you, you are doing an amazing job. Not every day is going to be easy, but listen, you're putting something out in the world that's going to help other people. It's going to change lives. And that's all we can do with the time we got. And you are an incredible young man. Keep it going, persevere. I cannot wait to continue to follow you for the rest of your life.
This golf tournament was far from over. It was time to celebrate those in the winner's circle. A bevy of prizes and gifts going out for a series of challenges, from the golfers closest to the pin to beat the golf pro, best score, longest shot, and more.
It's Sports Illustrated magazine, and he signed this to you, James, and to K-12. He said one CEO to another.
There were also special guests in the room from the South Florida Postal Customer Council, a partnership between Broward, West Palm Beach, and the Treasure Coast to build a bridge between businesses, nonprofits, and commercial mailers with the U.S. Postal Service. This is what they wanted to share with Carter.
Together we have the power to amplify Carter's message and foster an environment to support and empowers not only him, but all those that dare to dream. By standing hand in hand, we send a resounding message to the world that every individual, regardless of their background or abilities, plays a role in shaping a brighter future. So let us join in a round of applause, not just for Carter Bonas, but for the spirit of the possibility he involves, as we present him with the framed artwork of the Onward Commerce stamp. Let it serve as a symbol of an unwavering support and belief that he has had in his journey. Thank you, Carter, for inspiring us all. Your journey is not just the beginning. We are honored to stand by your side as you continue to soar to new heights. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
The inspiring presentation leading Mayor Scott Brooks to get a little emotional.
Carter, you're an amazing human being, an amazing leader, and on behalf of the city of Coral Springs, I just want to give you my gratitude and my love and say thank you for your leadership and your kindness for our community and communities beyond. You are an incredible young man.